Definitely appreciate all the listeners for the last episode. Definitely hit subscribe to us. We are Tape Don't Lie. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL, at BD Williams 18, and of course hit the subscribe button. Definitely, we're about to pass over 2,500, so we're almost there. So definitely try to get us to there, please. It'd be awesome. You know what I'm saying? So. And we appreciate everybody that listens every single week. So, and this week we're going to be going over the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons this week, guys.
Yeah. So
3-7.
Gruden said this is the best 3-7 team that he had seen on tape. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
I wouldn't go that far either.
I would say they could beat you if you don't come to play. That's what I would say about this team. If you don't come to play, you don't treat them. I mean, I don't think they should be treated like they're a bad team. They're not the Jets. I mean, they're just like a typical 7-9, 6-10 team. So if
Yeah.
the Raiders don't feel like they are that type of team either, they should beat this team. Basically, I mean, that's basically how it is.
Yeah.
Typical 6-10, 7-9 team that could beat you if you aren't ready to play, or if you come and you do a bunch of stupid turnovers and stuff like that. That's basically what this team is to me.
Um, how talented would you say the offense is? Because
It's
I
full
have
of
my
talent.
own thing that I'll say about the defense. Like, would you say like just talent, just like players on paper, top 10, top 15, top half of the league, even better?
Ooh, top 10. I don't know if I go top 10 because the line's not full of talent. But I mean, wide receiver,
Yeah.
they're super talented. I mean, I think running back, they're okay. They're okay. The Lions, meh. I don't think they're that talented. I think they need more talent. I think at wideout. I mean, they got Julio, you got Ridley, you got Gage, and they got the tight end Hayden
Hooper.
Hurst.
Oh, Hurst.
But
Yeah, yeah,
Hooper's
yeah.
in Cleveland, so they got Hayden Hurst now, who's playing well with Matt Ryan, and then Matt Ryan's a good quarterback. I know a lot of people don't think he's a good quarterback. I do.
Yes.
I
Very
think
good.
he's a very good quarterback. So if you sleep, that's why I hope the Raiders aren't hearing these headlines, because it's so much hype going on. It's bothering the hell out of me. I really hope they don't read the headlines and they come in there and they handle business. That's what it's about. I mean, the Raiders are clearly the better team.
Yeah. The defense is really interesting too because they have like three really talented players, and the rest of them are just like either very young,
Hmm.
right, and like not getting it together yet, or just like journeyman, fringe NFL roster kind of guys.
Yeah,
So it's tough for them to hide all those guys in their scheme, so they get beat a lot. But it's like three really good players, and then like 8 or 9 contributors who are just like kind of there on defense. So
yeah,
not a very talented defense, I would say. But yeah, we can get into it. I agree. They don't
yeah.
need to, or hopefully they don't start feeling themselves.
Exactly. That's the type of game this is. Like, they aren't feeling themselves and they come to play like they did against the Chiefs. This should be they should win this game.
They're good players. Deion Jones, Keanu Neal. These are some very special players in the NFL. This is Deion Jones blitzing up the middle. This is the modern NFL linebacker, ladies and gentlemen. He's can play affect the play in
Mm.
all different phases: run, pass, blitzing. In coverage, you see him here. He's got some DB movement skills, and probably for my money,
Yeah.
you can argue with me, but this is the fastest linebacker in the NFL. He is a very spectacular player. He closes in such a hurry,
Yeah.
and they're gonna blitz him. He has his own package of blitzes that they use him on, and he's been pretty successful so far. And then they also got Keanu Neal over here. He's a box safety, prototypical box safety. Keanu Neal is what Raiders fans think Jonathan Abram is. Okay, this is a really good box safety. He can play the run almost like a linebacker at times. He's got really good movement skills, comes downhill, lays huge hits, affects the ball carrier. You see him ripping the ball out there. And he's also a fantastic blitzer off the edge. And he doesn't give it away, which I think is also helpful for him.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's going to man coverage or if he's blitzing off the edge. But their run defense, it's a little streaky. It was weird to watch because I started with the Lions game, and I just seen them getting, plowed over, a lot of holes opening up in the run game. You see these interior defensive linemen, if it's Grady Jarrett here, getting moved around pretty much at will by the, by the guards, getting a lot of movement. If it's, their interior guys, sometimes they are just getting blown off the ball, and they can, if a team gets things blocked up against them, it seems like it's working. And then other times you see Grady Jarrett here, completely different player, or I mean, it's the same player, but looks like a completely different player, just running and dominating, blowing things up in the backfield here. So it's kind of weird. I don't know what team we're going to see here defending the run. It seems like against good teams, good run teams, they come to play, but against bad run teams, they give up a lot of rushing yards. So really weird to see. They are a heavy blitz team. They blitz a lot. We saw Deion Jones blitzing. We saw Neal blitzing. And, they're going to blitz everyone because they don't have a great pass rush. They have to kind of manufacture a pass rush, and they do that by blitzing off the edge if it's linebackers, if it's safeties, if it's corners. They have they have an extensive blitz package. The problem, though, is they don't have the players who can hold up in the back end if the blitz doesn't get home. You see really, really bad angle from that safety there.
That's a crazy throw.
And they all will also bust coverages when they're blitzing too, just like on this play. And you know what? These guys bust coverages as much as anyone in the NFL. They just have serious pass rush or pass coverage issues. This is a dagger concept. Outside receiver runs a dig. Number 2 receiver runs a vertical clear out. And you'll see them on tape. Literally, teams just take this at will from them. Same exact concept. You go up against the Saints, okay, same exact concept against a different coverage, but the same result, dagger. So it's just like they don't know how to cover this concept, which is really weird. And then, but it's not just one player. It's not just one type of coverage that they struggle in. It's everyone across this back end. You see the corner at the bottom of the screen here, severe coverage bust, just lets the wheel run uninhibited down the field for a monster gain here. So the guys aren't on the same page. This is Jerry Jeudy just running completely free across the middle of the field. No one even close by him. This is going to be the safety at the bottom of the screen, just covering grass, letting this guy run vertical deep across the field. Even though it's a bad throw, they still are able to convert it. Then the corner at the bottom of the screen gets his ankle snatched by Justin Jefferson here. It's just like like I was saying before, besides a couple guys, okay, they don't have good defenders.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just put it that way. Here, these guys don't make great impact plays very, very often. In fact, if you're going through NFL Game Pass and you're just seeing like, okay, who's making the tackles for loss, who's making sacks, it's just the same 3 names popping up. It's Deion Jones, it's Keanu Neal, it's Grady Jarrett, and then everyone else is just, kind of there on that defense. Right. So, I mean, A.J. Terrell, he's a first-round pick. Kendall Sheffield, people like that guy. Isaiah Oliver, I really like that guy coming out, but they have not been successful so far. A.J. Terrell, he's still young, right?
Mm-hmm.
He'll come around at some point. But either they're really young or they're just kind of jags out there. They're safeties. Be outside of Keanu Neal, don't have the range to cover in the back end. So, this is going to be a big game if they do come to play, because I've seen them come to play in the run game. I've seen it. Sometimes they don't kind of play in the run game, though, so we don't know for sure. But what we do know for sure is that Nelson Aguilar, Darren Waller, Henry Ruggs, these guys are going to eat this week, okay? They haven't been able to stop anyone through the air. It's just really bad coverage. It's just like a lot of busts, just not good pattern recognition, like you name it, across the board, everyone's getting beat. So it's not like I can just like pinpoint one player that maybe should be a good matchup for the Raiders. They have a hard time, and their pass rush also isn't great, which means that they have to blitz a lot to come up with that pass rush. And we know Derek Carr, just from talking about it on this show, examples, you just watch the games to find out, Derek Carr is fantastic against the blitz. So he's going to find those coverage busts when they do blitz, or if he needs to buy time. I think he'll make good decisions with the ball and get things going. The last thing, there's so many problems with this defense. I didn't want to show. I couldn't show everything,
Mm.
but a lot of quarterbacks have had success, especially in the red zone, extending the play, getting to that second reaction. If it's running for a first down, if it's running for a touchdown, Taysom Hill did it. Drew Lock did it. I know Derek Carr's not Taysom Hill, but if Drew Lock can rush for a touchdown, against this defense, Derek Carr probably should be able to. You saw Teddy Bridgewater extending the play quite a bit for first downs. You even saw Matt Stafford extending the play, but not running it, but ended up throwing it for a touchdown against them. So when the quarterback gets to a second reaction, this defense, it already has a hard enough time doing it in rhythm. Okay, but when it starts getting off script, they break down even more. So expect to see a lot of extending the play from Derek Carr, especially if they start blitzing. So we'll see about that.
Okay. Yeah, it was interesting, man. I mean, you're right, bro. I mean, they're not really good on defense. They don't have a lot of good, like, superstar good players. They're not a lot of talent on defense at all. So it is super interesting, how this game is going to go, because what you were breaking down, I think this game is going to depend on the Raiders defense, which I'm going to go over, and what the Falcons have on offense, because I mean, the Raiders are going to score points on this team.
Yeah.
Pretty much. They're going to score points. They're going to move the football. This is not a defense that's going to stifle them. I mean, there really hasn't been a defense that really stifled them this year, besides the Patriots, and that was just the Patriots' game plan. And then the Bucs. I mean, they did pretty good against the Bucs too. They just couldn't run the ball at all because the linemen were out all week. So there hasn't really been a defense that has actually stifled them this year.
So you're saying that probably like top 5 worst defense in the NFL won't do it, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. So I expect them to put up points. I expect them to have a good day. I expect Derek Carr to have a good day. I even expect Josh Jacobs in the run game to have a good day. I just think they're going to be effective. And the Raiders don't need a lot of plays to score. I've been learning that the last couple of weeks when I've been charting. They only ran 57 against the Chiefs to put up 31. They ran 50 against the Chargers. They didn't even have the ball against the Chargers, and they put up 31 on the Chargers. They didn't even have the football. You know what I mean? So it's interesting how well they score fast. They're explosive. It's gonna be hard for this Falcons team to stop them. Let's just keep it real. I mean, their pass rush isn't good enough for it. It's just gonna be it's tough. It's gonna be a long day for them. To me.
The one interesting thing is, they got beat pretty badly by the Saints.
Yeah.
They held the Saints. Obviously, Taysom Hill's playing quarterback. We saw how poorly that big pass was thrown.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was a punt. But it's Taysom Hill. He's starting all of a sudden, but they only let 24 points against them. They beat the Panthers, which I think philosophically, at least, maybe a little bit similar to the Raiders in terms of the way that they like to lean on the run game, but then also spread the ball around to all the receivers. You can correct me. You've definitely watched more Panthers than I have, but they did a good job against the Panthers. And it's so crazy. They held the Minnesota Vikings to 32 yards rushing. Minnesota Vikings. This team loves to run the ball.
Yeah.
Right. Gary Kubiak, zone scheme, like their identity is running the ball. Dalvin Cook, one of the best running backs in the NFL. They held him to 32 yards. Right. And then they let the Broncos rush for like 120 against them. They let the Panthers run for 150 against them. So it's like, this is like a Jekyll and Hyde team.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Yeah, I think they can stop the run if they want to. But I think half the time they want to, half the time they don't. So it's just a weird defense.
Hit and miss, I guess. All right. So that's definitely a great breakdown there. Let's go ahead and get into this offense. Check out what we got here with Matt Ryan and the boys. All right, so let's start with the big dog, Julio Jones. Everybody knows Julio Jones. A lot of people, he's top 5 receiver for the past 10 years, basically. And Julio is a beast in every single way possible. We'll start off here with this out route against Dante Jackson, which is he just murders him right here, just makes him fall. Just nice little stutter step out his break, boom, falling on the ground. It's Dante Jackson. That's Julio, though. I mean, and he's the king of the blaze out. So he got a blaze out here. Boom. Separation. Like he runs that blaze out to perfection. It's just amazing. So, I mean, Julio, that is Julio Jones. He's like that every single week. You're going to see, him making plays. And, the Raiders they have to focus on him and stopping him because, Matt Ryan leans on him and he's looking for him. And he's going to try to make some plays with Julio, right? And we'll see right here. The Saints played him. They did a lot of double teaming, having the safety switch, trying to cut off some of his routes. And, it forced Matt Ryan to hold the ball and go to the different areas. So they really focused on him pretty well. And they came down, put the safety down, and double teamed him all over the field. So that's something the Raiders are going to have to do. They're going to have to focus on Julio Jones. He's probably got to be the main guy they stop. Now, if you focus on Julio Jones, though, you got Calvin Ridley on the other side. Now, Calvin Ridley, he's been eating all year. He's a great route runner. He can win deep, just like you see here. Definitely good tracking the ball, catches the football, makes a play. See him here on another deep route, just winning. Nasty route, nasty release. Sacks the receiver, finds the football, makes a play. That's Calvin Ridley. That's what he is. And he's deadly in the red zone, too. That's where Calvin Ridley really, really eats, is in the red zone. He's a touchdown machine. Like it's here, he's subtle with his routes. He knows how to, create separation and do all those things in the red zone. He's tough. And that's where Matt Ryan leans on in the red zone is Calvin Ridley. He doesn't really lean on Julio in the red zone. So Julio's a 20-20 guy. The red zone guy is Calvin Ridley. That's who he's looking for. The Raiders have to focus on Calvin Ridley in the red zone because that he scores all the touchdowns for Matt Ryan, and that's what they do. Now, I don't know, everybody's forgot about Todd Gurley, but don't sleep on Todd, all right? Now, he still can be effective running the football, and in the red zone too, he is a red zone dynamo. I mean, he's still. I mean, he has 9 touchdowns on the season. I might be wrong about that, but I know he's one of the leaders in touchdowns. And he has like 82 touchdowns in his career, and he's still great on the outside zone running the football. I mean, he's still good. He's still good in running the football in those areas. So he could get yards. He gets tough yards. He doesn't have the explosiveness. He's not going to take it to the house, but he can get tough yards, just like you see on this play right here. He's still got good vision. He still can make plays. And like I said, in the red zone, he is tremendous, and he scores touchdowns. So when they get inside the 5, they're going to try to feed him, and he's going to make things work. And then you got Matt Ryan. He's still a really good quarterback, but what the Raiders want to do is make Matt Ryan hold the ball. You see what the Saints are doing here in these certain coverages. They're making Matt Ryan hold the football because he wants to get rid of the football quick, and this line's not good enough to hold up if he's not getting rid of the football. I mean, the Saints send a lot of delayed blitzes at him. They send a lot of things that to help. You see Jake Davis here, coming late. Sorry, this is gonna be the next play. You see him coming late on some of these things. You see some of these packages here, some of these coverages. Like this one right here, it's 2-man route. They got it all sewed up. There's nowhere for him to go. Pass rush is able to get there. I mean, this is off play action. So you see the Saints, they're playing the run here, and they're still able to get pressure because, the line is not good enough to hold up if you play well on the back end. So if you're playing well on the back end, they give him enough time that if you're allowing these guys to get open and he can pick you apart. But if you guys are playing well on the back end, you see right there how the double teaming Julio right there, that's his read. He has to hold the football, sack. That's basically how this goes every single time. And you'll see it here. Now here's Davis with the delayed sack. The delayed blitz right here, except it comes late, boom, sack. And that's what the Saints basically did all game. They forced Matt Ryan to hold the football, right? And it allowed them to get a lot of pressure on Matt Ryan. But it's not like the team. How do I want to say this? It's not like they have a terrible offensive line. So it's not like don't expect like the Raiders just come and like start feasting on it. Like, so, they see the 9 sacks last week. And I kind of showed you how the sacks happened. There, a lot of them were mostly coverage sacks. It wasn't just like they were just getting this immediate pressure on Matt Ryan, and they're sacking the quarterback. It was a lot of the Saints played a single high a lot last week. The Saints aren't usually that much of a single high team, but obviously they have kind of a blueprint of how they play the Falcons, right? So they kind of have their idea of what's going to go on. They play a lot of single high, and they had that safety roaming around Julio basically most of the game, which you kind of saw on, which I showed a little bit, and you see the safety drop. And every time Julio would come across the middle, because that's where they like to go with Julio, is across the middle and on those blaze outs. That's where they love to hit Julio. And the Saints were playing those, right? And then when they played those, it forced Matt Ryan to hold the football. And then when Matt Ryan was holding the football, he's not a super athletic guy, right? He's not going to break tackles or do anything like that. It allowed the Saints to get pressure on him, right? So it's not like you just thing where you just get to see pressure, people dominating them on the line. It's not this tight. It's not like that. It's not going to happen. Like the Broncos got pressure on Matt Ryan, but it wasn't nothing crazy like that, like how the Saints did, but because Matt Ryan's reads were open against the Broncos. Same with the Lions. Like if his reads are there, and you're not holding on the back end, I mean Matt Ryan's gonna pick you apart. I mean it is what it is. He's a pro quarterback. He's seen it all. He's seen all the blitzes. You can blitz whatever blitz you want to blitz him with. He's not gonna get fooled with like creeper blitzes or some of the simulated pressures aren't gonna fool him as easily as it would like a Drew Lock or something like that. He's not Drew Lock. He's a good, effective quarterback. He's smart. He's gonna know. He's a veteran. He's gonna know everything that's happening. He's gonna be able to make plays. You know what I mean? Like so. But you got to hold up on the back end against this team. That's basically what it is. It's going to happen. They got to hold up on the back end. If they can hold up on the back end, it's going to be like the Saints game. They're not going to score a lot of points. If you don't hold up on it, if you allow people to get open, it's going to be like the Lions game or the Broncos game, where these guys can win outside. Like these aren't receivers that can't win. Like I didn't even show Russell Gage. Russell Gage is a good slot receiver. He can win. He can win, bro. Hayden Hurst is a good tight end. He's quick. He's fast. He's got a lot of talent. He's a first-round pick. The Ravens gave up on him, but this year he's playing well. He's probably going to be a 800-yard tight end. So yeah, he's got 500 yards already, bro. Like he's a good tight end. So they got weapons for Matt Ryan outside. It's more about if the Raiders defense can show up, get some of the coverages they have, because his offense is not creative. I mean, for what I showed you guys already, you saw some of the same routes. They love those out routes. They love doing high-low reads with the outs, and it's kind of the same thing over and over and over again. It's not very creative. They don't have a creative play caller. So that's why if you game plan for them correctly, like the Saints did, you can slow down this offense based on the play calling. But if you're not ready, man, I'm telling you, these boys can win outside. I mean, Calvin Ridley can win outside. Julio can win outside. Like they got talent, and if you're not ready to play, they can burn you. But I'll just say that they'll burn you a lot.
The troubling thing is like when you think about Damon Arnett, and if you watch the last episode, we showed Damon Arnett struggling in coverage. This is gonna be a big test for Damon Arnett, how well he can bounce back, because Julio, like that's a premier wide receiver in the NFL. Calvin Ridley, that's a deadly wide receiver in the NFL. This is another big test for Damon Arnett. So we'll see if he ends up getting the start. If Lamarcus Joyner can play and Nevin Lawson doesn't start, and it's Damon Arnett, that's gonna be a big challenge. But it's gonna be a big challenge for any of the guys that come in. If it's Nevin Lawson, Isaiah Johnson, even Trayvon Mullen, they're gonna have their hands full covering those guys on the back end. I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's they got to come to play. The back end has to come to play. They have to be ready. One thing, a lot of the things the Saints did too is on third down they did cover 2 man. They did a lot of cover 2 man on third down.
Yeah,
which
Saints run that all the time.
That's
their thing.
Yeah, that is true. But you know what I'm saying? I get he's copycat league, bro. You know what I mean? Like it shut them down. Like it's seriously, because that's the 9 sacks most of them were coverage sacks. They weren't like just automatically the team getting beat. Is that Matt Ryan had to hold the football, and that line's not going to hold up like that. Not with Cam Jordan coming, not with those type of guys. And since he had to hold the football, he couldn't get rid of it quick. He's getting sacked. And that's how you got to stop this team. I mean, the run game's nothing special either. But Todd Gurley can beat you still. So like if you don't have a good run game and you don't surround ready for the outside zone stuff, I mean he can beat you, man. He's not. I mean, I know he's only averaging like 3.8 yards per carry, but so is Josh Jacobs. You know what I mean? Like it's not. He's effective, especially in the red zone, bro. He's super effective. He's still he has a that's a talent for the end zone, bro. Like
Yeah,
he has a
he
talent.
has a nose for the end zone. He has a nose
Yeah,
for the
that's
end
the
zone
word I'm
for
looking for.
sure.
He has a nose for the end zone, bro. He can get in
Yeah,
there. He knows how to read. That's when he's at his best, honestly,
yeah,
is in the short area. And it's probably why he's gonna be. That's why I think he's gonna be in the NFL for a long time, even with his injuries, because he's such a red zone guy that some team is gonna pick him up. He's gonna have like the kind of a Marcus Allen type of end of career where he's just playing in the red zone and he's just getting scoring touchdowns for teams
right.
because it hasn't gone away. You know what I mean? Like he got 12. I mean, it was a down year for him last year. He had 12 touchdowns on a down year.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? 82 touchdowns in 6 seasons, bro. It's crazy to me. I don't understand why people try to act like that he some crappy player. It doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe that's just
yeah. I don't get that one either. I mean, I think that there has been a drop off. No one's going to argue that about Todd Gurley, because when he first came in the NFL, the guy was like running wheel routes out of the backfield, corner routes out of the backfield, the running back seam, all this stuff. And he was like, okay, how do you defend this guy? He's running routes like a wide receiver. He's a red zone threat. He's, a threat to break it at any moment. But I guess because the speed has gone, with some of these injuries that he's sustained in his career, he's not like that all around every down, dangerous running back option.
mhm.
But yeah, I mean, he's a lock for double digit touchdowns like basically every year.
Yeah.
You could do a lot worse at running back, than that.
Yeah, bro. So say he's about to have 100 touchdowns in his career. He's gonna like there's everybody that has 100 touchdowns is in the Hall of Fame. So
Right.
yeah, it doesn't say people talk crap about him like he's not a generational talent like they called him like ready to deserve to be paid, bro. Like he has 80 touchdowns in 6 seasons. Like it's crazy. You
Yeah.
know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Like if he didn't get hurt,
yeah.
who knows how many touchdowns he gets to? You know what I mean?
So that's why I was asking you earlier. Like this offense on paper, it's got Julio, it's got Calvin, it's got Todd Gurley in the backfield, it's got Matt Ryan at quarterback. Like this should be a very high powered offense.
But it's not.
So
It's the play caller. It's the play caller. It's 100% the play caller. The most. I mean,
you
it's kind of
you
like
think that
watching.
they're predictable.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watching the Broncos offense. Like, so I feel about the Broncos offense. Like, I felt like it should be better than it was, but it wasn't because of the play caller.
Hmm.
Play caller plays a big deal in the NFL
Well,
these days.
you at least with the Broncos, you could have the excuse because Drew Lock is still a young quarterback. You don't have an excuse. Matt Ryan is, he's been doing this for a very long
Yeah,
time at a
yeah,
high level. So there's really no excuse to not have a lot of volume in your offense when you have all these guys that have been around for a while.
they're
So
they're they were dumb though, and they got rid of Steve Sarkisian, which was stupid. Because Sarkisian's out here in Alabama running these crazy concepts and messing with people's you know coverage principles and
right,
doing crazy stuff like that at Alabama, and and he was good here in the NFL with the Falcons. I mean, Matt Ryan had some good years with Steve Sarkisian,
yeah,
so
he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's definitely one of the things that made Dan Quinn lose his job. That's for sure.
for sure, dude.
Um, you only had post the Raheem Morris coaching change games up, or did you have anything before that?
I didn't have anything before that.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
after.
Same with me. Same with me. Because the Falcons, just for the fans who might not have paid attention or know this, okay, guys, they went 0-5 to start. They fired their head coach, and they've been 3-2 since, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, they're 3-7, or yeah, 3-7, right? But since they fired their head coach, they've had a winning record. Take that, what you will of that. I mean, still not a great team, obviously, but it's not like all of a sudden they're playing like at a playoff level, but they have played much better since the coaching change. So that's why throw the record out the window. Don't worry about that. Um, yeah, it's still definitely a very dangerous team. I guess the Raiders are 3-2 in that same time span. So it can definitely go either way. On the Raiders, we still got things to figure out and make sure that the Raiders are who we think they are, right?
Exactly.
Got to handle business against this team, but it's not a pushover team. even though we saw some, bad things on defense, they still have some dangerous players. If you don't game plan for, they could, wreck your game plan. And yeah, this offense should be able to score. Or I'm sorry, the Falcons offense should be able to score.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't. We don't we both of us can't really figure out why, besides predictable play calling. But there's gonna be a couple games this year where they're going over 30. They're gonna have their games where they're humming on offense because like the talent level is just too good.
Yeah.
It's just too good on offense, especially at the skill positions. And then, like you were saying, that this isn't a bad offensive line. It's not like a great offensive line, but it's not a bad offensive line. So
Yeah.
they have too much talent. They're going to have some games where they're going to score, north of 30, 35 points or something like that. So let's just hope the Raiders defense can step up, shake off this last week's loss and perform at a good enough level to keep this not from being a close game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's predictable. So as long as they have a good game plan, and the last predictable offense they played, the defense really played really well. So I think that it's going to play a factor in this. So if they're prepared and they do the preparation, they should be able to stop them for sure. I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not like because the Lions came out. The Lions, they play straight man to man. They're going to play man to man all day. You can't play man to man all day. And these guys, because if you do that without help, you're going to have Calvin Ridley beat you over the top. You're going to have Julio making people look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to mix it up. Especially that's what I'm saying. You got to mix it up with Matt Ryan too, because he's smart. You can't be straight up. No, I'm not going to switch coverages or do anything to try to fool him, because if you don't, then if you try to mess around with some of that stuff, it ain't going to be the day that you think it is. So they just got to come with a good game plan. If they come with a good game plan, they should be fine. But if they come like, I'm saying, they do what like the Lions did, you get tore up. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and you could have a good game plan, and you could also have guys freelancing out there on defense. And who cares what your game plan is at that point? So hopefully these guys stay a little bit more disciplined on the back end. We'll see.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
bro. It wasn't Avron's fault though, right?
It wasn't all his fault, but he deserves some blame.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
All right.
Yeah. Anything else, man, that you wanted to incorporate into this episode?
Not really, bro. I mean, it's happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I guess we're late on that, right?
Yeah. Didn't say that last time. Happy Thanksgiving, Raider Nation. If you celebrate Thanksgiving,
yeah, if you celebrate,
yeah. So happy Thanksgiving to those people getting together with their families here.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Raiders got some time off here, bodies rested, and they go out and have an exciting game like on this Sunday.
Yeah. I feel the same. I think this is a game I think they should win. I think they're the better team, and if they think they're as good as they are, this is a game they win. So
yeah,
for sure.
Yes.
For sure. All right, guys. So that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed our breakdowns. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL, at BD Williams 18. Subscribe. All right. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. Get us over 2,500 this week, guys. And if you know somebody who loves Raiders football, tell them about the show, man. Send them to the show. Show them some of our breakdowns. I know you've been getting around. I know people, like some of the rug stuff I was been doing. So check it out. Go through our old episodes. We got some good breakdowns and stuff like that.
Yeah, at this rate, you're gonna have to do a rug segment in every single one of your offensive breakdowns. People just want to see this guy.
Yeah, well, because that's what I did last time. Like, people were asking me to do a breakdown of rugs again. So in my Derek Carr breakdown, I did a quick little rugs thing inside of it.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
People are going to be obsessed with.
I give the people what they want. I just got to switch it up. I can't do a rugs breakdown every week, but I just I included it in the Derek Carr breakdown.
Yeah, right. All right, Raider Nation. We appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend.
See you guys.